Hi, I'm Reagan. I am a yoga teacher and a fitness instructor. I have been practicing yoga since I was like a teenager. I started right here on YouTube. I would watch videos, I would follow along, and it really unlocked a passion in me that I just never really turned away from. And when I started taking my teacher training, it's when I really started going out and actually taking classes in person from studios and from gyms, and actually getting like an instructor right there in front of me. And that changed everything for my practice. I didn't realize how much I was missing by just doing online videos, but there is just so much that you get by having an instructor there one-on-one. And so I wanted to bring that studio experience to online videos. So today I'm going to teach you a simple trick that can make a huge impact in your yoga practice and really make going through those online videos just a little bit easier. You have probably heard the phrase ground down through your feet. I'm going to show you what they actually are trying to tell you. This is not something I learned until I was actually in my teacher training. So yeah, I'm standing. I invite you to stand up with me, and we're going to go through this little exercise. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to stand with our feet either directly underneath our hips, or you can bring your big toes together to touch and your heels slightly apart. Either is fine, either is great. If you have your big toes touching, it's going to take a little bit more balance and you might wobble a little bit. Totally fine. You can brace the wobbles, you can try it out, or you just bring your feet hip width apart. It's up to you. So I'm going to explain it, we'll go through it together, and then we'll do some practice, okay? Push down through your heels. We're going to start with the heels, okay? So you push down through your heels. I like to give it like a nice little bend as if I'm like really pushing into the mat. Then we're going to roll the outside edges of our foot or the blades of our feet, keeping our heels down. Now, a lot of people tend to stand like this. That causes a lot of knee pain and a lot of hip pain and a lot of back pain. We are going to be actively doing the opposite. Yes. And if you notice what happens to your ankles when you're standing here versus if you're rolling through the outside edges of your foot. Big difference in your ankles. Your ankles are a lot more solid. Then you're going to take the ball of your foot and push it down. Now notice what happened to your arches. You might be saying to yourself, I don't have any arches. Yes, you do. The muscles are still there, I promise. You just might not see it, but the muscles are there, and that is what we need to be activated, are those arches. Then you grip the mat with your toes, and that's where your balance comes from. And I'm going to run through it again. Heel pushes down, you roll through the outside edges of your foot, then you bring the ball of your foot down, and you grip the mat with your toes. Now we're going to go through some poses. You can see how this really applies in different standing yoga poses. Now we're again going to stand either feet hip width apart or with our big toes touching. Either one is fine. Okay. We're going to push down through our heels, roll through the outside edges of our foot, bring the ball of our foot down, grip the mat with our toes. Then we're going to have a nice soft bend in our knees. We're going to lift up our torso. We're just going to check to make sure our back is not overarched, that our hips are square to the front, not tilted down. Just take a second to see where your hips are square to. Boom, to the front. Shoulders back and down. Top of the head goes to the ceiling. Arms come down to your side. For Tadasana, mountain pose. This is a very common yoga pose. This is something that is in just about every single sequence, every single class. What do you notice about it now. So that is mountain pose. Go ahead and release, shake it out. Now we're going to bring our feet nice and wide, okay? As wide as is comfortable. The wider the better, but again, as wide as is comfortable. Then we're going to take our left foot and we're going to point those toes to the front of the mat, okay? We're gonna bend your left knee. Okay, we're setting up a warrior, warrior 2 specifically. Also a very common pose. Now we're going to push our heels into the mat, push them in, roll through those outside edges of the foot. It's really hard on that back leg. Then we're going to push the balls of our feet down and grip them out with our toes. Shoulders up, back and down, arms extend. Warrior 2. And then go ahead and release, come back up to standing. Last pose we're gonna go through, we are again, feet either hip width apart or big toes together. Either is fine. I'm gonna turn a little bit to the side so you can see what I'm doing, okay? We're going to push down through the heels, the outer edges of the foot, balls of the foot, grip them out with our toes. There we go. Okay. Nice soft bend in your knees. Our hips are actually going to go back and down as if you're sitting in a chair for chair pose. Our hands can either come up overhead or at heart center. Either is fine. And then release back up to standing. What we just did is called a foot lock or a pada bandha. And what it does is it creates a triangle at the bottom of your feet. And as you may or may not know, triangles are the strongest shape. They are incredibly hard to knock down. And so when we are doing this with our feet, we're also incorporating like geometry into this, where we are creating such a solid, strong foundation that is really hard to be knocked over. If you liked this video, there are more just like it where I go through different parts of the body and we focus on it throughout the entire video. Check them out. They're pretty cool, I think. And then also don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And that is what I have for you today. Thank you for letting me be a part of your practice.